All right, so I have a walkway here, and I last year I planted this dappled willow. Didn't know that it was gonna grow to this ginormous plant that it is right now. So I have to cut it. I figured I would ear layer it so I could actually make more plants. Because if you look at it, it's a cool plant. You got this variegation going on. Look at it. So let me give you an angle from the other walkway. So if you're walking this way, gets in the way. So what I'm gonna do is, that's my neighbor's dog. Very annoying. By the way, so if I'm gonna ear layer it, I'm gonna try doing it maybe down here and this one too. All right. So things you're gonna need for ear layering. You're gonna need this Clonex. I got this off Amazon. Works pretty good. Even with tomato armpits or the suckers, I pop those out and I dip them in this and put them in some coco coir, and then later on we have roots. Gonna need some coco coir, and it's damp. It's a damp coco coir like this, right? And then you could use foil paper or you could use bags, but I have these handy dandy ear layering clips or containers or whatever you want to call it. So basically, so this part right here, that's the bottom. That what pinches the bottom of the limb you're trying to ear layer. And then this part, the opening part right here, doesn't have anything in there. That's the top. So all I do is I pack it with coco coir, right? Both sides. Clear the middle out. Then I cut the limb roughly around 1 inch and then scrape the limb. And then I put on my Clonex. I'm gonna demonstrate it so you can see. And that's it. All right, so we got everything we need. Got my knife. Got my Clonex right here. Get in focus here. Clonex. Got my Clonex. Got my marker because I want to make sure I put a date on it so I know how long the ear layer has been. And then I have my handy dandy ear layer clip with coco coir inside of it, damp coco coir. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I am gonna cut. So right here, that's a node right here. I wanna keep this node inside the ear layer. Try to see if I could zoom in. All right, this node right here, I'm gonna try to keep that node inside the ear layer because most likely that's where it's gonna root, right? So I'm just gonna cut right below it. I'm gonna go right around. Try not to break it. And then I'm gonna go down, say about 3/4 to an inch bottom. So basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna take off the bark right between where I cut around this small little limb right here. So I'm cutting down now. I'm gonna peel that off. right now. All right, so I got it all cut right now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape it because I want to disrupt all the connections or nutrients that goes from down here going that way. I want to disrupt that. It's gonna force the limb to shoot out roots right at this node. So I'm gonna scrape this. Because if you don't scrape it, it will still produces all the nutrients for this limb. So you just want to disrupt that. See what I'm doing there? Scraping it. Make sure you get the back side even though you can't see it. All right, now that's scraped. I'm gonna take my Clonex. I'm gonna dab my finger on it, right there, like that. I'm gonna rub that around. So the Clonex itself got some enzymes that promotes root development and root formation. So like I said, most likely of all the parts of this limb right here, most likely it would produce or higher chance of producing roots right at the node. So that's why I left that node in there. All right, now since I did that, I'm gonna close this for a minute and then I'm gonna write the date. Today's the 17th. So 5/7/2005. Right, so now that's the bottom because it got that little middle part there, and that's what's gonna pinch the bottom off the limb. So now I gotta make sure I put this on right, make it fall out. And that's it right there. And the next thing is, want to make sure that it doesn't dry out. So gotta make sure it give it water, just a little bit of water just to keep it moist, especially in the summer. But yeah, that's it.